Yo, what is up, you guys? Can you hear me? I think you can hear me, right? Anyways, what's up? Back for another video. Today, it's gonna be a quick one. Just wanted to quickly take a look at this, which is the Sony FE 35mm f1.4 G Master lens. I've never used a G Master lens, so this is the first one. But yeah, let's take a look inside the box. What you get, pretty nicely packaged and everything. And it comes, you get your paperwork, obviously, tucked away in there. And then I've opened up maybe one or two other Sony lenses, but never a G Master lens. So I wouldn't know if this is standard with the G Master lens, but you get a little lens pouch, Velcro with the double zipper, and then you can just open that. Inside you get the lens. I already took the lens out earlier, but you also get a little strap for the pouch, so I thought that was pretty cool. But once you take the lens out, you get the lens with its caps, obviously, mount cap, and then the front lens cap, and then the lens hood. And I think a cool thing about this is not only does it feel sturdy, but if you can tell right here, it has like a little button. So whenever you put it on, it clicks. And then it doesn't come off until you push the button. And then it comes off. So I thought that's pretty cool. Neat little addition, but yeah, about the lens. So it has a good weight to it. I'm pretty sure it's like made of some sort of like metal, composite metal, but it feels really good. Like you can tell that it's worth a lot of money. And then you can see the front lens element. It's pretty cool. So build quality is certainly there. You got the focus ring, very smooth, with a good amount of texture as well. And then you have the aperture ring right here. So you have the settings here. You can either have the click on or off. So if you have it on, every time you turn, you can feel it and you'll hear it too. So that's pretty cool. And then you can obviously turn that off and it's just smooth. You can't hear. All right, so that's pretty cool. I like to keep it on. I don't really use it, but it's a nice little addition. And then on the other side, you have your custom button. Usually this, holds focus, and then you have your autofocus, manual focus switch. So that's pretty cool. So like I said, build quality is certainly there. It's got nice weight to it. It's not huge, but it's also not like tiny. I've used the 35mm f1.8. That one's good too, like the quality and everything, but this one's bigger. And it has to be in order for you to get that f1.4. So let's talk about, image quality and all that good stuff, right? Because you don't just have this around to carry it. This isn't just an expensive paperweight. All right, so welcome to Photomator. This is where I do all of my editing. Let's take a quick look at some of these examples, right? Guys, I'm just gonna let you see it. The quality is there, and I mean, you would expect it out of a $1,400 or $1,500 lens, right? Quality is there, nice and tack sharp autofocus. The areas that are in focus, they're in focus as they're supposed to be. You can see the eyes, we're at over 300% and they're in focus, right? But then when you look at the background, you get that nice and creamy background, and it's what you would expect. Also color fringing from the images I took, even these that it's 9-10 in the morning, the sun's starting to get pretty high up in the sky, you don't really see any of that issue, right? If you zoom in a lot, you past 200%, almost 400, right, you can start to see it, but it's not distracting when you are zoomed out looking at the whole picture, right? And it's the same thing. It's really, really consistent. I mean, here You can start to see a little purple as well, but we are zoomed in well over 500%, all right? You zoom out, look at the picture in general, it's an amazing quality, right? It's not distracting at all. The areas that are supposed to be in focus, they are in focus. Again, not distracting at all. Overall, very, very high quality images. You have to zoom in a lot to actually see it, and you would expect that. Once again, you just expect that out of a lens that costs this much, right? And it's fairly consistent. You're gonna look at this, at all the images, like 95% of the images that you take, they're sharp, they're in focus, they have good color. The fringing, not an issue. If it is, it's 1 or 2 out of every images, and it's like in super what's the word, like demanding situations where it's like you have a black next to a white consistently. But even here, you gotta zoom in a lot for it to be noticeable, right? This one's taken right in the sunlight, and maybe right here it blends in with the dress, but again, we've seen all those other images and it's not really an issue, right? You see that here, but we're at 600%. You zoom out, look at the picture as a whole, not distracting whatsoever. And even here with the darker colors and the brighter colors, you can see it a little bit, but not a distracting issue whatsoever. Now, I will say, I have tried the Sony 35 F1.8. That one's like half the price. So what do you get for half the price? These are still the G Master, okay? And you can see the quality is just there, okay? But these, we're done with the Sony 35 F1.8. So what do you get for half the price? Well, maybe you don't get the creamiest backgrounds. Maybe you don't get the least amount of color fringing. You can see a little bit here. But overall, you get a really good image, and you gotta ask yourself, is the G Master really worth twice the price? My personal opinion, no, it's not worth it. You know, and I'm not here to sell you guys on anything. As a matter of fact, if I'm gonna save you guys some money, then I'm gonna save you guys some money, and I'm gonna be honest about it, right? Yeah, you know, in the areas of high contrast, it's a little more noticeable, but once again, you look at the image as a whole, and you really gotta ask yourself, is it really worth to spend an extra $700, maybe even $800 on this lens? And like I said, I'll say it again, personally, I don't think it is. Now, I would like to eventually test out and compare both of these lenses with the Sigma 35 F1.4. I've heard really great things about it, right? But I haven't had the chance to test it out, and perhaps one day I'll get the chance to do so. Leave a comment down below if that's something you'd like to see. But I wanted to quickly take a look at these. Once again, these are with the G Master, and then these first 4 over here are done with the Sony 35 F1.8. Not a huge difference in my personal opinion, and no one, or at least the average client, does not pixel peep like we're doing right now. We're at over 800%. You can see a little bit, but again, zoom out, look at the picture as a whole, and it's not distracting at all. The image quality is amazing. You compare it to the G Master, and you can hardly tell a difference. Those are just my my humble opinions, but it is something that I had to mention, at least briefly, so that you guys can save some money if you are on a tighter budget. That's what I think about this. So if you haven't subscribed already, please absolutely feel free to do so. I'm not going to force anyone, I can't, right? But I would really appreciate that. That would really show some support. Leave a like, leave any comments down below of any future content that you would like to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.